You're right. Right. Let's talk. Yeah, I know. It's difficult to stick with me because I ramble a lot. I just got back from Subway. Love Subway, right? But let's stay on track, right? I do want to discuss something. I'm so high energy today. This is plastic. Right. First of all, oh my god, my one of my subscribers. I'm assuming he's a subscriber, and if you ain't, bitch, you better click the subscribe button. Look what they got me. Isn't this, right, it's a Tibetan sound bowl. Is this Sanskrit? I can't tell. I don't know. It looks like people dancing or like palm trees or something. What else? Listen, hold on. It takes a while to build up. Listen. Don't click off the video. Stay with me, for fuck's sake. Wait, look. Wait. Oh, yeah. Feel the relaxation. You feel that? Maybe I should get into ASMR. Welcome to Ava's meditation. Oh, I should be looking at the camera, right? Anyway, right, shut up. So I've been feeling, no, I'm still whispering. I've been feeling a sense of enlightenment recently, which probably means I'm not enlightened, right? Because what intelligent or enlightened person actually feels enlightened? Like, I swear, the smarter you become in this world, the more stupid and infinitesimal you feel. It's funny because as I get older, I simultaneously, at the same time, feel more significant and less significant. So, of course, as I heal the wounds from my childhood and I begin to embody more love for myself, I start to feel like, I'm fab. I'm main character, you know? And I start to appreciate my importance in the world, my bespokeness. How fabulous, right? So my significance is bolstered. But at the same time, because I become more intelligent and more aware and I gain more perspective, I realize also at the same time how pathetically minuscule I am in this grand cosmic design. And it's fabulous because there's something really humbling about the idea of like, doesn't matter if I shit myself in public, doesn't matter if I do diarrhea in the public bathroom, because at the end of the day, all the people who watch me shit myself or me, we're all going to be eaten by worms in the end. And like, also, I know I'm pathetically stupid because I'm a human. I say that with great love. I'm enthralled by humans, always have been. But I know humans, even all the collective knowledge we have put together is nothing. I mean, it is like a little nucleus in a grain of sand on a cosmic beach of the universe. Ooh, psychedelic. I know nothing. I can get all smug and egoic thinking, because I use really long words, I like to think I'm really smart. And I'm probably quite smart as far as humans go, but that's saying nothing because humans are so stupid. I'm so stupid. And that's humbling. I say that with great love because humans are just like, we're not the main characters of this whole scheme, even though we think we are, because the balls of fat bathed in chemicals in there make us think we're the shit when we're not. But we kind of are if we love ourselves, because I am the shit. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's obnoxiously paradoxical, but I think I'm the shit and I'm the main character and I'm the most significant thing ever because I absolutely love myself and I think Ava is beautiful. But at the same time, I was going to say, at the same time, I'm not stupid, so I know my insignificance. But at the same time, I'm very stupid because I realise my insignificance. Okay, this is sounding very psychedelic. Do you know what I mean? I know my intelligence because I really revere how I think, and I think I have a fabulous brain as far as humans go. But also because I'm quite smart, I feel how unfathomably stupid I am in the grand cosmic design. Okay, I want to get a little bit less psychedelic. So I'm particularly feeling, I think by my value system, enlightenment is the visceral felt perception your way of seeing the world is not the be all end all. Like, we can all hollowly echo that, right? I'm sure you could even ask a child, like, do you think everyone sees the world the same way that you do? And they could probably just echo, no, of course not, but we don't really feel that. You'd have to be insane to think that everyone sees the world the same as you do, but we sort of still do imagine it. We imagine that governments and institutions and celebrity and academe and whatnot, these are like the borders of our reality, of our cosmos, but it's not. It's all a video game invented by human beings. It's all... I was thinking about this the other day. Okay. This is a video game humans will play. If I don't like someone, I go at that to them. Look at my pretty nails, by the way. But I go at that, right? And they get offended. And it's funny because all I do is I raise my arm and I erect one of my digits and I hold it in the air like that. And I do that because I know it generates an internal response of heat and offense in them, and it's my symbolic way of saying fuck you. But if we pause the video game and be like, bro, like, look at what's happening right now though, like, you're making me feel something in my brain, and because I don't like the way you're making me feel in my brain, I'm gonna do this with a part of my body in the air to generate a feeling in your brain because I want power over you. I'm not really attacking you, it's just a finger. But we've invented this game that we all participate in where it's like, it's not just a finger. This means fuck you. And that's going to make me feel this. And it's going to make me want to do this. It's all, we're just engaging. It's a big TV show. But if we're to like put our emotions aside, yeah, I hate you. And yeah, you're offended by me. But let's put our emotions to the side for a second. This is one wacky psychedelic video game. Like, at the end of the day, we're just two animals on this rock. And I'm like holding up one of my digits to you. And that's literally what's happening. If you think about, put your ego and emotions to the side, that's actually what's happening. That's really funny to me. But I've been becoming increasingly conscious. Stay with me. Don't go. I'm okay. But I've been thinking about how I've really been feeling, not just thinking. That's the difference, okay? We know we're living in a societal war of facts don't care about your feelings. And like, the problem with nowadays is that people think too much, or people feel too much emotion, but it's all about logic. No, it's about both. Both have to be integrated holistically. But people who overly identify with the intellect or overly identify with the emotion they just can't understand how the world works. We have these sophisticated systems within us that both have their roles. I'm a very intellectually engaged person, and I'm a very emotional person. I like to think I have my fingers pressed to the pulses, and I understand both pretty well, I think. And I love both. I probably more dispositionally, as my personality structure is, lead with the heart because I choose to. But I've always inalienably been very cerebral and intellectually engaged. This actually comes from, I think, I was raised by very mercurial parents. It was quite an abusive atmosphere because they were not evolved. They didn't know how to raise. I mean, God bless them. They didn't really know what to do. They weren't destined to. I don't think they were meant to be. I mean, of course, cosmically, everything's meant to be, right? But speaking grounded, I don't think they're really meant to be parents. I mean, thank you so much for fucking each other because I'm here now. Whatever though, I mean, I love them. I don't hold a grudge at all. And like my mother, adore her, and I don't want to make her feel guilty about anything she's done. Anyway, whatever. From my formative years, my brother and I, we were raised by very mercurial parents who truly, their emotions absolutely swallowed up their world. They could not see past their emotions. If they felt something, they would force it onto my brother and I as incontrovertible fact. And like, this is the way the world works. And they were vehement and they were illogical and irrational. And that was hugely uncomfortable. And I think my brother and I, we've always been very cerebrally engaged because we learned very early on from the get-go. We learned the painful skin crawling lesson that's like, I mean, you know this with all your heart, and I know that you're being unreasonable, and that person knows that we're both wrong. So it turns out what everyone knows, no, this is definitely fact, this is definitely fact. Everyone has different facts, different truths, different value systems. So I think my brother and I were very quickly humbled and educated on the fact that just because we feel something internally, it is to be validated, it is to be observed and studied. There's a lot of juice to be siphoned from that. But it doesn't necessarily mean it is incontrovertible and that's the be all end all. But the thing is, with the way the human brain works, unless you really exercise, unless you're really like engaged intellectually, and you're a really mindful person, which most people aren't, and that's fine, that's not wrong, that everyone's playing their role. Not everyone's designed to be a groundbreaker and an innovator and be a philosopher and be super introspective. Not everyone's designed for that, and I'm learning that, right? Which is very interesting for me, because I've always projected my, like, because I've been intellectually engaged and very introspective, I've always viewed people who are not introspective as wrong. Like, there's something deficient in them, but there's actually nothing deficient about being like a rice farmer in Tibet or a McDonald's worker in Tennessee or whatever, like this, who aren't like exercising philosophy and introspection on a really rich level and like cosmically exploring. And not everyone's designed for that. People have their roles. People give to their communities and their families and themselves in their own way, and they're not deficient. Not everyone's designed. Stop filtering the world through your personal lens of what people should be like. By your value system, I get it. You value individuality, uniqueness, subversion, innovation really highly. And you value it so highly, and you're like suckling on that so aggressively you can't even fathom that that's not at the top of everyone's. Not everyone's like, I need to be individualistic, I need to innovate, I need to aim for brilliance. Nah. Some people are like, I need to have fun, I need to be strong, I need to be truthful. Like, what, like, people have a different hierarchy of values, right? Whatever. Anyway, yeah, my brother and I, we got a strong bitch slap psychologically, learning very early on. We'd witness our parents very vehemently right and correct about something that we're witnessing, and we just know in our solar plexus that that's like not, something's off. I don't think you're right, even though you're right. I don't think you're right. So mucusy today, what the hell? And I've always been right. And I'm especially good at being right because I'm really articulate and I have a way with words. And so I'm quite aggressive. I built up this intellectual muscle very early on because I had to defend myself from gaslighting, and from parents who tried to overpower me mentally and physically. And so I became very defensive and very logical, very cerebral, very articulate. So I am good at tyrannizing people into thinking I'm right because I have a way with words, and it's very intimidating. But I'm not right. I have my way of the world, and I'm really feeling this. I'm really, really feeling this. And everyone is right in their own way. Everyone has their own values, you know what I mean? And I'm not just thinking this, but I'm feeling it. I was in a conversation with this beautiful guy the other day, and he was talking about individuality and uniqueness, and how everyone should aim to be brilliant, and how individuality and uniqueness is the most important thing we can be, right? And it's very clear to me, it's very readable, that he's probably during his formative years sustained some wounds where he's maybe quite enmeshed or figuring out his identity, and thus he's revered unity and individuality to the point where Jesus Christ, sorry, to the point I'm so sorry. I'm drinking when I drink this tea, it like froths up in the straw and then I swallow loads of air bubbles. I'm so sorry. It's clear. Can I talk without clearing my throat or burping up froth at the screen? It's clear this gorgeous guy absolutely reveres individuality to the point where I believe it probably clouds his judgment but I'm not above that. I totally get that. My judgment is consistently clouded by, our judgment is always clouded by our strong values, right? When we really, really value something, it takes a lot of mindfulness and effort to try and contain that and try not to radicalize people into that. I'm a very emotional person. I feel very strongly about things, and I catch myself in the act trying to radicalize people to think the way I do to validate my existence, because I have a deep internal sense of wrongness that I haven't quite shed from my childhood. And so how we make ourselves right is by making people think like us, and we're validated. That's why a lot of us have babies, and it's like, let's be really truthful about that. We really do fantasize about one day having mini me's. Oh, I can't wait. And we're gonna do nails together. Oh my God. And she's gonna like be a philosopher like me, and we can do makeup together. They're gonna be a little mathematician. No, not necessarily. And it's so sad. We are absolutely traumatizing our children because we're really so biased in our own worldview. We think that they're just like blank canvases upon which we can project our own oh my God, it's not focused, upon which we think we can project our own ideals. They're not. And that is really going to fuck them up. That has fucked us up. Our parents think we're blank canvases. We're just like dolls to control. We can just get the child to behave, and we can modulate them to be exactly the way we need them to be. It's not like that. That's just not what you have to try and respect their individual. Well, this is my value. See, I'm doing it again. This is what I'm talking about. This is in action, right? My value system, because I value individuality highly, not as high as this guy that I was talking about, but I value freedom and individuality highly because I come from a Western system, and that's quite a dominant value here. And so I'm like, you can't, like, even linguistically, I'm revealing my dogma. It's like, I'm not like, I don't believe this is part of my value system. I'm literally like, you can't. What you need to do is back off and let the child express their individuality. Well, maybe someone values order, symmetry, similitude, a sort of like specifically defined lineage, and passing on very, very defined values. That might be higher in the value system. Whereas what's higher in my value system is individuality, freedom. Back off, let that child be within reason. They need guidance and protection and whatnot. But I believe by my value system. See, this is where we need to wake up. We need to start sentences with, according to my value system. But we don't, because we think we know the world. Because I'm so convinced individuality and freedom is where it's at. And anyone who doesn't think that, there's something wrong and deficient with your system. And I do think my system is better than other people's system. But I have to respect that maybe it's not. You know what I mean? Anyway, this guy I was talking to, he said he reveres uniqueness, and everyone should be like that. Everyone should strive for being innovative and unique. And I said, I disagree. I would have agreed with him a couple years ago. I would have been like, yeah, duh. Are you just a sheep? Are you just a pathetic sheep just going along with everyone? That's what I would have said a couple years ago. And now I'm really feeling how beautiful it is that everyone has their unique role, where we're bespoke and we incarnate with a particular role. And that this can be translated secularly. It could all just be like biological and down here and earthly, or there could be some greater thing. But we spawn from uterus with a particular role, and not like, why can't we respect the people who, like, not everyone's a leader, not everyone's a thought provoker, not everyone's here to subvert a system, to fight the system, not everyone's obsessed with freedom and individuality. I know we all say we are, but it's a platitude. This is something else I've been thinking about, right? The platitudes we follow, because it comforts us to say things that sound golden. So, for example, if you poll people and you ask them, how much do you value truth? Do you want truth? Most people are going to say, yeah, truth always. Truth above all, truth prevails. That's one of the golden values in Western society, especially in the United States. But truth. But it's a platitude, because when they are actually observed in a psychological setting, you realize very quickly People don't want total truth. Same with freedom. Oh my God, the West is so obsessed with freedom. I'm obsessed with freedom, love freedom, right? But it's a platitude. We don't want total freedom. You don't want total freedom. You want the constraint of government and education. I mean, moderate government, right? Like, that's obviously conservatives are going to argue, like, small government. You still want government. You don't want total anarchy, right? Most people don't. And even the anarchists, right? They still want family. They still want community. They still want tribes and groups. They still want countries. They, or maybe they don't want countries. I'm not that educated. Maybe they don't. Maybe we're just all merged. It is a bit arbitrary, isn't it? But we still want, we still want paycheck. We still want the police force. We still want hospitals, and we still want some degree of regulation. I certainly like that when I go out to eat at restaurants, there are hygiene regulations. You can't just fish oil from the gutters like they do in China, and recycle it in the food. Right, I like regulation. Thank you. I really appreciate that I can breathe easy knowing that almost definitely the food I'm eating is reasonably hygienic. Yeah, okay, fine. You're going to find a lot of sketchy stuff. Look at these earrings I got when I went to my mother's house. She just gives me so much shit. I mean, they're nice. I like them. Thank you, mummy. Thank you. Whatever. No one wants total freedom. No one wants total honesty. You'll realize the reality is very different when you're the recipient of that. But we like to say it because it's a soothing platitude. We live by many soothing platitudes. Truth above all else. Freedom is the golden value that we must always strive to. If you want true freedom, you would want to be defected from society and live and die by the elements of nature. Right? You don't want to be alone in the jungle. Don't be constrained by relationship and job and tribe and community and paycheck and security and regulate. You don't want that. Like, if you want real freedom, then don't be constrained. Don't be constrained by these four walls. Hell, live out in the open. Live in the trees. No one wants that. No one wants total freedom. It's platitudes. I don't know how I got into platitudes. Anyway, I'm done. I'm going to go. I've philosophized enough for today. I should say, lesson over. Okay, I'm gonna go, you guys. And do you know what I'm gonna do? Actually, I do always feel a bit tacky doing this because I feel kind of like a cheap little tranny. I'm gonna leave my Amazon wish list in the description box. I feel kind of bad because it's just like, give me free stuff. You don't have to, but when people do, it does make me really happy, and I really do appreciate gifts. It just makes me feel so loved. But again, don't worry, like, you don't have to do that. I absolutely love your attention more than anything. Yeah, I'm gonna go though. Ding! Love you. Bye, guys. Love you.